let's do it. We're gonna start talking about the first semifinal of Eurovision 2021. This is going to be more of a pros and cons, like what I like and what I don't like about specific songs. And I'm gonna ask you to tell me the same things, what you like and what you don't like. And probably we should start with the acts in the order they're gonna compete in the semifinal. The first one is, again, Lithuania. Now, while I'm gonna be talking about all these things, you guys are gonna be able to vote, and I'm gonna ask you to tell me if, let me just be sure that everything works. My question is gonna be, if you were to give them points from 1 to 12, you don't have the null point, we're not being mean here. If you were to give them points from 1 to 12, how many would you give them? And you can vote, if everything works as planned, by actually typing !vote and the number of points. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Don't forget you have to type. Wait, I'm gonna write it down here for you so you see how you actually have to do this. This is the way it's supposed to look like. That's how you would know what people think. So now I'm gonna tell you how I feel about the song, what I like and what I don't like about it. I will tell you that in the beginning I did not like it. I also thought it was very similar to what I had previous year from the way they're presenting it, at least. But after we've seen Azerbaijan, I'm pretty sure that they're not the one that went the closest from previous year. I'm not listening to it as often, really. In the beginning I was actually kind of skipping the song, but I do know that they have a lot of fans, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna do quite well. But we're gonna talk in the very end, after I go through all of them, if we think, I will ask you and I will do the same, if we think they're gonna qualify or not. So, there are openers. I find it very interesting that they put them first, which makes me think they're just trying to hype up the fans, so they have the ratings from the very beginning, because they obviously have a lot of fans. I will say that the pros for the song is that they have a lot of fans, and I think they're very eye-catchy. The cons would be, I don't think everyone is gonna like this style of like theatrical being on stage, so this might be a downfall for them. Also, in the live performance that I've watched, not everything went according to plan, so hopefully everything is gonna sound better in the actual Eurovision. This is what I think about Lithuania this year. I'm gonna read some of your comments to see what you guys think. Many of you are saying you want to give zeros. Believe me, I wanted to add zeros to it, but the way this works is I can only add 10 options, which is really sucky, because I really wanted the null point to be there for people that want to give null point to different people. But from what I've seen in your voting, most of the votes are top middle-ish. So no one really sees them as winners. But also when you're voting, take into considerations, I'm only talking about the semifinal one. You don't really see them as winners, but you see them pretty high up. And yeah, we're gonna talk about it afterwards, what we think about the results, like top 10, what are they going to be. The next one after Lithuania is Slovenia, and again, you guys can still vote. The things are just gonna change, but you can vote multiple times, only the last one counts. I think, at least. You can try. So again, you can give points from 1 to 12. This one, when I first listened to it, I really got goosebumps. I think the pros for it is definitely the voice. And I even think the message, up to a point, it could be a plus. If you take into considerations what people from Cyprus, how people from Cyprus reacted to El Diablo, I feel like they would vote for this one. So for Slovenia, I would say those are the pros, the voice and maybe the message. The cons are, usually Slovenia doesn't get a lot of votes, and also I feel that somewhere the song kind of gets lost. Like, it doesn't go full power as the ending is. Like, the ending is really good, and I get it, it's supposed to have a growth. I just feel like it takes forever to get to the growth. Also, I don't think the staging really helps, even though it's quite of a cool special effect. I don't think it does it right. Like, I think it could be a lot better, and maybe on the real stage with LEDs or whatever is gonna make it a little bit more exciting. I don't know, I would even like some shadows maybe in the background to be like the gospel choir or something, but this is what I think about it. You guys have voted it pretty low. Most of the votes went either mid-top, but most of them are on the bottom. So apparently not a lot of you like this one that much. Let's... Adwanta says it stands out in this semi because her voice is amazing, so I wouldn't be surprised if it qualifies. I do feel the same, like the voice is gonna be the pro, 100%. The thing is it gonna be enough? And, you know, I feel like in the semifinals, not a lot of people are watching. It's not the same amount of people as in the grand final. In the semifinals, I think there are fewer casual viewers, so the fans might help her, if they like it. And the juries probably are gonna vote for her too. But again, Slovenia usually doesn't get a lot of points. We're gonna move on to the next country, which is Russia. For Russia, I was actually totally surprised. I really thought, first of all, I thought that Uno is gonna compete for them, and they didn't. But I really like the style of this song. I like the message, definitely the message is a pro. I like her voice, the voice is also a pro. I will mention though, the version they have for this song on Spotify is a lot more boring than the live performance. I do not like the Spotify version. Live, everything looks like a lot more lively and exciting, and I hope that she's gonna be, I don't know, like perky. I hope she's gonna be like fun on stage, and she's not gonna like fall into like this deep message and just become like very serious. I do know that Russia usually gets a lot of points, but at the same time I know that Russia, like a lot of the Russian people, don't like that she was picked to represent Russia, or probably they don't like the message of the song or the song altogether. And let's see what you guys thought about it. Ooh, this is like kind of a split. It's all over the board, but from all the songs, I think they're the most 12s, 10s, and 8s. So she's doing pretty well in your opinion. Obviously, we were gonna have our 1s, which very probably for some of you are like the nul point. But I don't know. I really like the song. I think it's very creative, original. I think that the juries that are more like crazy and not like these old style juror members, but like the newer ones, will appreciate this type of mix in music. The first time when I reacted to it, I didn't even know what style of music that was. It's just all over the place. But this is my opinion about Russia. You guys also put it kind of high, with some of you not liking it. I was kind of expecting this to be some sort of a split, but a lot of you are a lot higher. Benny is writing in German, which I would read, but a lot of people that are gonna watch this will have no idea what I'm reading, and it's really hard for me to translate live. I'm not good with that. So let's move on. What's the next country? The next one is gonna be Sweden. Unfortunately for me, I'm not happy to say this, but Sweden was kind of... I'm sorry, I need to figure out what is happening here. Unfortunately for me, Sweden is kind of letdown. I'm disappointed with the song. I like Tusse. I really think that he's trying to do the best on stage with this, but the song is like beyond generic to me. Like, I don't feel any emotion. I've listened to it on Spotify. I've listened to the live performance, except for the actual like body language performance and everything being in there. The song doesn't give me anything. Like, even the part with "Can you hear a million voices," which is supposed to be like so powerful, I don't feel it. And also I feel it's gonna be compared a lot with like the other Million Voices, and definitely the other Million Voices is better than this one. This one tries to be popish, kind of... I mean, it's Sweden. It's like borderline, it's just Sweden in general. Yeah, it's not a song that I listen to a lot. If it starts, I'm not skipping it, but I'm not like looking for it. You guys said, ooh, I see a lot of null point here. There are people that are liking it. There are some 12 points, but the majority in the vote I see it's kind of going lower towards the end. Is like, if we take the 1 points away, which are, as I said, probably null point, I would say it's not like last place, but like somewhere in the lower mid. But I'm fairly sure they're gonna get a lot of votes. I mean, it's Sweden. It's impossible not to get a lot of votes. They got a lot of votes with "If I Were Sorry," and that was probably Sweden's worst song. Hate me for that. I cannot stand that song. He finished 5th or 4th? I forgot how high the guy was. The next one is Australia. And here I have a lot of things to say. When I first listened to it, I hated it. Like, I did not like the live performance. I did not understand the song. I had no idea what was going on. It just felt like it wanted to be like from the movies, but it wasn't really working out. Now it grew on me just because it grew on me just because I was listening to the Spotify version. And the Spotify version, I can get it. I understand it. I like the lyrics. I got the vibe. I know what it's supposed to be. I also like the perkiness in the voice on Spotify. My negative thing for it is I don't really think the live performance is gonna be that cool. And like, if you remember her live performance from last year, the excuse was that she was very nervous. Then when this version of the song came, the one that was on the stadium, the first one came out, they said that it wasn't edited and that's why it didn't sound that well. Then we had the edited version, and then the excuse was that she was too tired because she rehearsed too much, and then her voice cracked a lot. And she also went, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, live on Instagram on Eurovision, and she had another apology saying that this time she was sick and that's why she couldn't sing it properly if she was to sing it, and she's not gonna actually perform live in Eurovision. She's just gonna send that pre-recorded tape. So I don't know how I feel about it, because I mean, I don't want to be mean, maybe all these things do happen, but I hear a lot of excuses. I love the song. I don't think she's the right person for the song. I'm not sure if the song was written for her or not, but I'm fairly sure that live on stage it wouldn't have sounded the way it sounds on Spotify, and I don't think she could have pulled it off as expected. I know that the pre-recorded tape is live, but also you're like in your own environment, you can like tweak stuff, it's a little bit different. You guys put it also mid-low, like most of the votes went for 4. The thing is that this is for me confusing because I really like the song, and I think if someone else would have sung it, it would have been really cool. She does look really interesting. She does have this look of like a superstar, like someone that you will remember. And I think that would have been a pro in the live. I'm not sure how the pre-recorded thing is gonna be, but These are my opinions about Australia. Next is North Macedonia. And this for me is one of the most unfair reactions I've seen, like, from people. I don't think it's supposed to be like this. People really don't like this song. As I'm saying this, I just see the votes changing, and it is funny. This, I will not lie to you, is one of my favorites this year. It is like a musical, and I like musicals. The pros are his voice. I think he's a very good singer. The cons, maybe the lyrics if people don't really connect to it, but also the whole thing that started with North Macedonia and Bulgaria. I think that was just strange that people reacted like that because of those 3 colored stripes in the video. I would have never thought of it, like, in a million years, but I feel like the people that were complaining about it made it more popular than it actually was. So here you have that. So this will go against him just because I don't feel he has a lot of support in the country he's representing. And beyond that, a lot of people are not really into musicals. Marco Mameli says the 2021 version of Kobi Marimi, too emotional and over the top. The song on its own is not over the top. In the video, maybe, when he tells the story and everything gets like emotional, I feel like the Kobi Marimi reaction in the end of the song cannot be matched. I mean, that's the best rehearsed sad face dry crying I've ever seen. And it's like, it's funny. I know that it's supposed to be a very like emotional moment. To me it was just funny. Also because that song was one of my favorites originally, and I did not know that the revamp happened, and when I heard the live version I was like, what is this? This is not the song. But anyway, we're talking about this song. I like it a lot. It's very high on my list, and I'm very sure that Vasily is gonna sing it very well. I also feel like a lot of the jury members are gonna vote for it. Now, before I'm moving to the next one, let me reset the voting, just because maybe some of you left and your votes are still in. Maybe I should do that after each one. I'm just a very lazy person, apparently. So that's completed, and we will start a new one. Okay, the next country is going to be Ireland. For Ireland, I have one fear, and the fear is that people are not usually voting for Ireland. I feel like Ireland and UK are kind of put in the same area, and I think that's unfair. I like the Irish song a lot. I think it's really cool. I'm not sure how active she is. Like, I would like her to be a little bit more active, like social media style. Like, compared to the others, I feel like she's pretty much falling behind. The song is really cool, but it could be seen as generically optimistic. I could get that too. But for this semi-final, I think it's pretty cool, and I really hope they're gonna qualify. The voice is a good singing voice. The song starts very strong from the very beginning, and it just keeps that tempo the whole time. That's something that surprised me from the beginning, because usually songs like build up towards a moment. This one just starts and it's really good. I like the feeling it gives me, so I hope he's gonna do well. You guys seem pretty split, but the top side, I would say, is the one ruling. And I would agree. I think it's gonna do pretty well. The fear is that usually people don't really vote for Ireland, so I hope that won't happen this year. The next one is Cyprus with El Diablo. What do you think about this one? Everyone keeps telling me stop mentioning Lady Gaga. It is really hard because when the song is so similar to Bad Romance, which was so iconic. I mean, I'm not sure, like, the people that are talking about it, you know, how young or how old they are, but I feel like if you were at least a teenager when Bad Romance came out, you know how big that song was. And this one sounds really similar to it. At the same time, the song is super entertaining. So I cannot say I don't like the song. I also cannot say that I don't hear the pre-chorus. I don't know what that part is, the pre-chorus to Bad Romance. It sounds really similar. Someone told me that one of the either producers or songwriters or whatever actually worked with Lady Gaga. I still don't think that's an excuse. I mean, you cannot just reuse it. On the other hand, I think she's doing pretty well because all I can see on her Instagram is her advertising, Head and Shoulders, jewelry, nail polish. I don't even remember. Like, she does so many ads. I'm curious if they're like just getting money for like the live show, if it's gonna be like a super live show and they need like the funds for it, which is totally fine. Or maybe she just thinks she's like so popular that now is the moment to cash in, which is cool. I do think this is gonna be a party song, so if people are looking into like party dancey things, they're gonna like it a lot. I really hope she's gonna sound fine, because I've seen this karaoke version wherever she was somewhere like at someone's place or whatever and she was singing it and it sounded really terrible. But I hope that was just her like messing around and it wasn't like an actual version of her singing the song. That would be absolutely terrible. Gary Moore says she doesn't know what mamacita means. Lola, Lola, Lola. I mean, the lyrics are very funny. You guys, oh, you're actually surprising me with this vote. I was expecting the votes to be more towards the top for Cyprus, but most of the votes are going to the bottom and middle, with a lot of you giving it 1 point, which again, I have a feeling is supposed to be nul point. Interesting. I do think they have a big chance to qualify though. I do think that is that style of song that will get people agitated. Okay. Let's restart. Okay, if you guys are saying restart, we're gonna restart after each one. The next poll is going to be for Fallen Angel. I'm not even sure that I want to see this poll. But for this one of my favorites, I love this song. It is like, I don't know, I'm so addicted to it. I literally am listening to this song every day at least 5 times. Norwegian version, English version, live version, I don't care. I just love it. I feel like a lot of the hate that the song is getting is because, you know, in Norway national final they beat Kano, and some people cannot let that go, and then some other people genuinely don't like it. They do think it's like outdated probably. I do feel like this is so Eurovision 2005 towards 8, and I love that a lot. And the sound of the music, I don't know, like there's nothing that I don't like. I know that nothing is the best. It's not the best music, not the best lyrics, not the best voice. Quite interesting staging. Maybe the staging is quite high, but somehow put them all together, I really love it. I can't say I don't love it. It's like really high for me. And apparently a lot of you like it too, although the feelings are pretty strong towards the bottom there also. I do know this song is gonna be like very divisive, and I'm sure I'm curious where the juries are gonna stand. My feeling is that he's gonna get more points from the televote than from the juries on their own. So I'm gonna reset it again because that's what you guys said. Reset after each one. And that's what I'm gonna do. The next country is Croatia. With this one, when the song came out, I really listened to it, and I have a feeling I might have listened to it a little bit too much, because at this point I got tired of it. So this is a difference actually from Norway. Norway, I'm also listening to it since it came out, but I'm not tired of it. To this one, I got tired at some point. I do think it's like very youthy. I feel, I don't know, it's like for the youngsters, I feel they would vote for it, and they would like it a lot. I will say, I don't know how to put this not to sound mean. Her voice is good to sing what she's singing, but you can see, especially on the high notes, she's reaching like her peak. Like she cannot go beyond that, and it's not even all that high. In the live performance that we saw in the national final, I think she did pretty fine. I actually thought that that high note she missed in the live performance, but actually if you're listening to the Spotify version, it sounds just the same in the studio version, so the song is meant to sound that way. I don't know why to me that sounds off, like that note to me should be a bit higher. But nonetheless, I think it's a fun song. Croatia doesn't get a lot of points usually, so this would be a downside. And I really hope that the staging would add a lot of points to the performance. I think they could do pretty well if they go all neon and all those colors and she's gonna be in her baggy pants. I don't understand why all the promotional stuff that she's doing, by the way, I forgot to mention that. I saw her also on Instagram and also in the pictures that she sent for media, like for videos for YouTube and stuff. She has this thing with like the teddy bear. Is this gonna be a thing on staging? Like, is she gonna have like teddy bears? Or is that a thing that she does outside Eurovision? Is that like her signature thing? Like hugging, cuddling teddy bears? I don't know. You guys are having pretty mixed up opinions, but you think is middle to high. Some of you put it low, but not that low and not that many. So she's fairly high, which I do agree. I only got tired of it kind of like later. Resetting this. And moving on to the next country, which is Belgium. I feel that this is gonna be one of the most underrated songs. My fear is people are not really gonna vote for it because it sounds so different and the juries are not gonna give them a lot of points. But for me, this is one of the best songwritings this year. This sounds really awesome. It is so different from all the others. I really hope they're gonna have good staging. If they don't, they're gonna mess it up. I like her voice, obviously. I like the music. I'm actually very curious how they're gonna put this live on stage. I mean, obviously they're not gonna have a chopped head. Also, like, their vibe, just as a band in general, is like so strange. Like, it's like some people that I cannot read. They give me this feeling of like a little bit arrogant, but like they realize they're being arrogant. It's like, we are really that good. And they are really very good. Like, the songwriting is really good, but I'm not sure if that will help them with people that like more like cheeky girls and something like a little bit more fun. They're like very serious and they're like with their black suits and stuff. You guys give a lot of 1 points for this one. It's pretty even across the board. All those 0 points are kind of pulling the results more towards the bottom, but I think this is exactly what's going to happen. I think this is gonna be very underrated. It's gonna be one of those songs or acts that when you go 2 years later on the YouTube channel, you're gonna see all these comments. I cannot believe how underrated this was. The most underrated song ever. I think that's going to happen for this one. Yeah, let's close this one and start a new poll. And the new poll is for Israel. Israel, as we all know them, are the kings of revamps. They're revamping songs even when I don't know that they're gonna be revamped. This is like referring to Kobe that we talked earlier, when I had no idea that the revamp was gonna be live on stage. On the revamp, I'm gonna talk more about the revamp because this is the version that actually matters. Obviously they put the high note thing because a lot of people complained that the original version of the song was not really showing anything from her. And she's a lot better. So they put that high note. I will say that high note is like, it's so noticeable that they placed it there in the song just to show that she can sing, because the song in general doesn't offer a lot. So having a high pitch note towards the end would give like a boost, or like someone will like notice it because of that. On the revamp also, I do not like the part, I don't know how to say this. There's a specific part in the song where they make it to sound a little bit more popish and like more commercial than it did originally. Originally it was like an organic sound, and now it sounds like it's just like produced. I do not like that, but then the very end of the song, that part I do like. So They did, I feel like, something bad to the song and something good with the revamp. So overall, I think it just stays kind of like in the same place where I thought it was with the original with the votes. I'm very curious how she's gonna do. I'm pretty sure she's a good singer. You guys didn't really give her 12 points. Only one person gave her 12. And you're also pretty split, I think. I don't even know where to place this. Probably is like middle, I would say. It's like very average. You did not give her like 12 points. You only gave her one 12 point. But at the same time, there are also only two 1-pointers. Which means that people do like it, but not love it. But they also don't hate it. Which is probably exactly the feeling of it. It's like, I don't hate it, I don't love it, it's a good song. Let's move on to the next one. Closing this. This poll is for Romania, my home country. And how did I mess up this? I don't know. For this one, I will say that when I first listened to the song without the video, I thought it's gonna be really bad. The visuals though really helped to make this song stand out. I mean, it's like, it gives you goosebumps. The lyrics are really good. Now, my thing is, her voice does sound good when she sings like all these acoustic versions, if you guys have heard them. She's like a very good singer when everything is just like her and singing into the microphone. But if she has to do a choreography and she has to sound a little bit more oomph, she might not be that good with that. I think she does a lot better if it's like a little bit lower tempo and fewer instruments. And like her voice could really come through. Like she has a really noticeable voice. You would know that it's her, the one that's singing. Yeah, my fear is just the live performance. I hope that in the live performance they're not gonna make her do a lot of tricks and stuff on stage and just let her sing. And I hope that she's also not gonna get covered by the music. A lot of artists do that. Even though they could sing, like, they prefer to just stay like very quiet and just sing like very soulful in the microphone, and then the music is just blasting and you can't hear anything. I hope they're not gonna do that with her, and don't make her move a lot. Or when the moves are, do it kind of like what Georgia did in 2010, where like she was doing a lot of dancing, but only in the parts when she wasn't singing. So she could do that. You guys placed her middle high, pretty much towards the high. 7-12 points, I see there. Only one, which means that people really like it. You guys like it. I like the song too. It's not a skippable song. When it starts, I really love it. And obviously I'm a bit subjective because it is my home country. And she's from my hometown too. So that's even an extra point for her. The next one is going to be Azerbaijan. Now this one I think is pretty funny because on one hand I think they're like geniuses. The way they made all this, I think it was a genius move. They were like, you know what, we're not gonna write a new song, just keep the same one. And I've seen some comments, someone told me that why do I say that it's the same structure, because a lot of the song have the same structure, like verse, chorus, but that's not what I mean when I say the same structure. I mean to the beat. You can count if you put the songs next to each other, when anything goes in and out, like instrumentally, when like the dark voice goes in, the ending of the song, the rhythm. I mean, even in the lyrics on purpose, I'm sure that on purpose they made the thing just like Cleopatra to be like so noticeable, because they're kind of like winking at you. It's like, we know what we did. And I think I don't know where to put it. I think it's a very cool idea, the fact that they managed to make a song structurally so close to Cleopatra, but to be a different song, because you cannot accuse them of having the same song. It's not the same song, but the structure is just like the other song. So a lot of the viewers will not know though about Cleopatra, will only know about Mata Hari, and it might do pretty well. I'm curious how the staging is going to be. With Cleopatra, I'm pretty sure she would have been Cleopatra. Now with Mata Hari, I'm not sure if she's gonna be Mata Hari. I don't know what the staging is going to be. I didn't like the music video this year as much as last year, but that one doesn't matter for Eurovision anyway. You guys put it surprisingly low. You're totally split. The ones that voted high, they're like low high, and the ones that voted low, they're like low, which makes me think that this might not do very well with the fans, with like the Eurovision fans. I think the general audience will like it though. Let's see which one is the next. I find it so funny that no one gave like 6 or 5s, but from 4 to 1 and 7 to 12 only. It's like, this is what you call a split board. The next one is going to be Ukraine. Ukraine, not gonna lie to you, one of my favorites this year. If they were to win the whole thing, I would not hate it at all. I love the whole sound. Again, I feel this is a bit ironic, but both Ukraine and Russia kind of put in the same category, just because the mix of styles, I think it's so interesting and it works. Like, to me, like, this song like makes me want to move. I get the weird vibe. I like the flute part a lot, and also I like the music video a lot. I like the revamped version more than I like the original, which I'm probably in minority here. I think the majority like the original more, but in the original there was a portion of the song which I thought was kind of boring. So in the revamp, I feel like they like umphed it, and that's really cool. And I really think they're gonna do pretty well. I really hope the live is gonna go well, because with what was the name? Now I'm only thinking Shum. What was the name of the song last year? Come on, someone please write me there. How can I not remember it? Solovey, yes, thank you. With Solovey, we got used to the live performance on stage. With this one, we are kind of getting used to the studio version and the video, so I'm not sure if they're keeping this as a surprise to how it's gonna be live. With Solovey, I'm pretty sure that that's what they would have done in Eurovision too, because it was a really cool staging. With this one, I'm not sure. Are they gonna bring the suits there, like with the thing? I cannot even say the thing because I'm gonna get marked on YouTube. But you guys, some of you really love it, and then some of you put it middle-ish, which I feel like overall it would kind of pull it a little bit high, so it would be like medium high in your preferences. A lot of you gave it 12 and 10, which should count like a lot. I do think it's gonna do well, because it is original, like the sound is really cool. Let's see which one. I think we are down to the last one, and then we are gonna see which ones I think they're gonna qualify and which ones I think they won't. And in this case we have Malta. Malta, I feel that is very popish, very dancey. I really love it. Her voice is really great. One thing, kind of close to what happened with TikTok with me, but also you guys, if you're following my channel, you kind of know this. I'm more of like a slow kind of, I almost say like a slow person. I like a slow music kind of a person. I like it more, you know, when it's like lyrical and whatever. This one has a nice message. I like the message, like I can hear what she's saying and I believe her. The thing with her is, I do get tired with the song at some point. There are specific portions in the song where I think is like, can we move over this and just go back to the chorus? I like the chorus a lot, but specific parts I don't like that much. Although I do think in the pros, again, she has a massive fan base. I do think she's gonna do very well overall, not just in the semi-final. This might be like a spoiler, but I do think she will qualify. This is like one of the strongest I feel this year. Even if I don't like it, like I'm aware that it is good, even if it's not necessarily my style of music. You guys definitely put it high. I mean, there are a few haters, but you know what they say, haters gonna hate. But most of you, like by far, I think this was the song that had the highest scores from you guys. So Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is gonna do very well. This is the last one from the semi-final, but let's see which ones we think are gonna qualify or not. For that one, I did not prepare a poll, but I'm gonna make one right now.